Hey, what's up? This is Mike, and this is Reckless Palate, where I give you the tools to find the confidence to cook more creatively and spontaneously in your kitchen. Okay, I'm gonna do a little wine review today. I just selected this wine out of the grocery store. I've never had it before. Dry Creek Vineyard from Healdsburg, California. The grapes are grown in Clarksburg, though, which is right down the river road here from where I'm at. Which I think says a lot about this wine, that a winery in Healdsburg would come all the way here to Clarksburg to source their grapes to make this delicious wine. Okay, let's have a taste. The vintage is 2020, which means the grapes were harvested in 2020, but it also includes the actual harvest dates, August 28th through August 31st, 2020. That's a lot of information. You don't usually get that on a wine label. It also has other information that you don't often find on a wine label. The fermentation temperature, which was 53 to 62 degrees Fahrenheit in stainless steel. The TA, which is total acidity, was 6.2 grams per liter. It also includes the Brix, which is the sugar level, either in the grapes when they were harvested or in the wine when it was finished, 20.6. And it also says the residual sugar, which has to do with the actual amount of sugar left in the wine in this bottle, which is 0.35%. That's fairly dry. Dry is a term you probably hear wine people say, and if you're not familiar with the term, a lot of people confuse it with tannic, which tannic is that astringent feeling that you get on your tongue when you drink red wine, or if you chew on like a grape skin or grape seed, or this is a weird one, but if you ever like have really strong black tea, or take the tea bag from black tea and put it on your tongue, which never do that, that's tannins. They have a drying sensation in your mouth and on your tongue. When we say dry and we're talking about wine, we're not talking about tannins. We're talking about the absence of sugar, okay? When you drink a wine, if it's sweet, and I'm not talking about like, a little bit fruity, I'm talking about when you taste a wine and you're like, oh, it's like Sprite. That's sweet. If it doesn't taste like Sprite as far as sweetness, it's probably dry. Some wines are off dry, which means they have a little bit of sweetness in there. But mostly, especially with California wines, because we have really ripe grapes here in California, we tend to get some pretty fruity wines. And they can give the illusion of sweetness, but they're not really actually sweet. They contain very little sugar. They actually are just fruity. This wine contains 0.35% residual sugar, which is not too much. It's not going to be a very sweet wine. And finally, something that you do usually find on a wine label is the alcohol by volume, which is 12%. That's moderate. Okay, so let's have a little taste. You probably also noticed that this wine had a screw cap, and you're judging me for it. You can judge me if you want to, but the screw cap isn't a bad thing. It doesn't mean the wine is poor quality. It just means that they didn't want to spend the money on cork to seal the wine. And the only reason to really use cork to seal a wine is if you're going to lay it down and age it so that the wine can kind of breathe, so to speak. When you have a bottle of wine that has a screw cap, doesn't mean it's poor quality, just means you need to drink it real soon. And guess what? I'm going to drink this real soon. I like it. Chenin Blanc is an interesting grape. A lot of times it has an aroma that is reminiscent of lanolin. And I didn't know what that was until we had a baby. And when you have a baby and mommy breastfeeds, she needs to take care of herself and her skin. And I'm talking about a particular area of skin where babies feed. And to do that, she uses lanolin. It's like a wax that comes from a gland on sheep, but apparently it has a very particular aroma. So it's not sheep like white pepper, like smells like the fair. It's sheep like lanolin, which I had never smelled before, and now I have. Anyway, to nipple care. This is delicious. As I suspected, it's not too sweet. Pretty dry. I'm supposing that's why the bottle says dry Chenin Blanc. So apparently 0.35% residual sugar isn't very much at all. There's definitely a hint of that lanolin in this wine. It's very unique. Kind of weird. There's also a little apple flavor going on in here. Not like a Granny Smith apple, which is what I would have tasted in the Riesling that I had last time. This is more of a yellow apple, like Golden Delicious or something like that. Not quite as bold as a red apple, but not quite as tart as a green apple. The wine isn't extremely floral, but there is a little hint of floral character. Nothing like a rose or something that strong. Maybe more like jasmine or plum blossom or something, maybe. I'm definitely getting that like apple aroma, almost like apple sauce, which is cooked apple. Well, whatever I'm smelling, it smells delicious. All right, well, thanks for joining me once again for a little wine review. Dry Creek Vineyard Chenin Blanc, Clarksburg 2020. Delicious wine. $14.99 at the grocery store. It's not going to break the bank. It's pretty delicious. Give it a shot. Let me know in the comments if you happen to try this or any other Chenin Blanc, and let me know what it tastes like to you. Do you taste lanolin? Do you even know what lanolin smells like? I didn't. I'm also curious to know if you knew the difference between dry and tannic. So leave me a comment below and let me know. Did you know what dry was? Did you think tannic was dry? Am I preaching to the choir here? Anyway, look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget, download my kosher salt guide at www.recklesspalate.com/salt. It's going to give you the tools to improvise in your kitchen with confidence. All right, until next time, cook reckless, y'all.